Greetings to everyone. I am Dharani. I'm an EJE Physics Foundation teacher. Today we are going to discuss about an interesting topic in physics. Before that, have you ever watched any double action movies? Uh, if your answer is yes, just tell me what is the basic concept behind these double action movies. In double action movies, a same person will play two different characters. Am I correct? That means the person will be the hero and he is the villain, right? So he is the hero, he is the villain, he can play two different characters. That is what mean by a dual role movies, isn't it? So in physics also we have a superhero who can play two different characters, who can exhibit two different roles, right? Did you guess what is it? Yes, it's nothing but light. Light exhibit two different natures, right? One is wave nature and another one is particle nature, right? So light exhibit two different natures. So this property of the light is known as dual nature of light, right? And this is discovered by Louis de Broglie. Okay, this dual nature of light is discovered by Louis de Broglie. He said that light can behave as a wave and it also can behave as a particle. So which means it performs two different characters, right? So in science, if you simply tell any ideas, that's not enough. We have to give proof. We need evidence. Science need evidence, right? So what is the evidence for this wave nature of the light? If you ask such a questions, there are certain evidence, certain properties of the light which can be explained only on the basis of wave nature of the light. It's nothing but diffraction and interference. So these properties of the light, this diffraction and interference of the light can only be explained on the basis of a wave nature of the light. This we will study under the wave optics. Just leave it. Now we'll come to the particle nature of the light. Okay. There is an effect which can give the evidence for this particle nature of the light, and that effect is known as photoelectric effect, right? So this photoelectric effect gives proof, it gives evidence for the particle nature of the light. So today we are going to, in this session we are going to discuss about the photoelectric effect. Are you ready? Let's get into the class. Photoelectric effect. Do you have any idea or guess about this topic? Right? See, the name itself says this is something related to photons and electrons. Am I correct? Because it is photoelectric effect. So the name itself gives some idea. It is something related to the photons and the electrons. Before we get to know what is photoelectric effect, first we will see what is electron and photons are. You know what is electrons are? What is electrons? It is the elementary particles in an atom, right? In atom is made up of electrons and protons. So electron is one of the elementary particle in the atom. So if you consider this is the atom, we know its center part is the nucleus, which is a proton. So it is the positively charged, right? And around this nucleus, electrons are present, right? So electrons are revolving around the nucleus in a certain orbit, whereas these electrons are negatively charged, right? So the electron carries 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb of negative charge, alright, whereas the proton carries 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb of positive charge. So electron is nothing but it is the elementary particle which is revolving around the nucleus in an atom, right? So this is about the electron. So now what is photon? If you ask me what is photon, the more general definition is it's nothing but it is the light particle. What is it? Photon is nothing but the light particle. Why photon is called as a light particle? To get the answer, first of all, we should know what is light. What is light? Light is nothing but it is the energy. Am I correct? We have studied in the 10th standard optics chapter reflection and refraction. We have studied light is nothing but the energy. So when the light is moving from one place to another place, which means the energy is transmitted from one place to another place. So to carry the energy, we obviously need some vehicle, isn't it? So to carry the energy, we need a vehicle, and that vehicle which carries the energy, which propagates the energy, is known as the photon, right? So photons are nothing but it just carries the light energy. So that's why photons are known as light particle, right? Understood? Now I am going to give another important thing, tell you another important thing, note it down. Light particles are photons, but photons are not only the light particles. I repeat again. Light particles are photons, but photons are not only the light particles. Let me explain this thing. Okay? To understand this thing, just tell me what is light. We already know light is the energy, but it is what type of energy? It is the electromagnetic radiation. Am I correct? It is the electromagnetic radiation. So there are 7 types of electromagnetic radiations. What are the 7 types? Can you able to list out those seven types? It's nothing but radio wave, microwave, and infrared, then visible light, then ultraviolet, X-ray, gamma ray. Am I correct? Radio wave, microwave, infrared, visible, ultraviolet, X-ray and gamma rays. So these are the 7 types of electromagnetic radiation. In these 7 types, light is just one of the electromagnetic radiation. Right? This visible light is known as generally the light. So visible light is one of the electromagnetic radiation. Okay, this visible light, this energy is carried by the photon. But photons not only carry the visible light, it also carries all the other 6 types of electromagnetic radiations. So all these electromagnetic radiations are nothing but energy. So all the electromagnetic energy is carried by the photon, right? So that's why I said photon is not only the light particle, it also carries the X-rays, gamma rays. So if the photon carries the X-rays, that is known as X-ray photon. If it is carries the gamma radiations, that is known as the gamma ray photon, right? Understood? So photon carries the electromagnetic radiation. So it is the carrier of the electromagnetic radiation. But more generally, we just call photon is a light particle which carries the light energy. Understood? And we know another important thing, all these electromagnetic radiations will move with the speed of 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Not only the light, all the 7 types of electromagnetic radiations is moves with the speed of 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, which means the photon's speed is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, and it is the massless, right? The rest mass of the photon is 0. Alright, so and this is all about the photon. Now we understood what is photon and what is electron. Now let's see what is photoelectric effect. The first question is, what is photoelectric effect? First of all, this photoelectric effect is discovered by Heinrich Hertz. Right? In 1887, Heinrich Hertz found this photoelectric effect. So what he said, photoelectric effect is nothing but when the electromagnetic radiations falls on the metallic plate. Take a metallic plate. When the electromagnetic radiations are nothing but photons. Am I correct? Photons only carries this electromagnetic radiation. So when photons incident on the metallic plate, there is a emission of electron from the metallic plate. So in one line, how can we explain photoelectric effect? Emission of electron from the metallic plate due to the incident photons. This is what known as photoelectric effect. So when photons which carries the electromagnetic radiation, it can be any radiations. It can be the X-rays, it can be the gamma rays, or it can be just the visible light, right? So when photons incident on the metallic plate, it just emit the electrons from the metallic plate. This is known as photoelectric effect. Now we know what is photoelectric effect, but why? Why there is a emission of electron from the metallic plate? So when the photon incident on a metallic plate, let it be incident. But why there should be a emission of electron? To get the answer for this question, why emission of the electron from the metallic plate, we'll take the metallic plate and we will see what happens inside the metallic plate, right? Let's take a metallic plate. And we know in the universe, everything is made up of atom. Am I So everything is made up of atom. So this metallic plate contains billions and billions of atoms. So I consider atoms inside the metallic plate. So if you consider a single atom, let me take this atom, right? If you consider a single atom, this atom contains so many elementary particles. It contains electrons and nucleus, right? So this center part is the nucleus, and electrons are revolving around this nucleus. I am just taking one atom, right? So consider this is the electron. So electrons are revolving around the nucleus. So we know this nucleus is a positive charge, whereas this electron is a negative charge. And what is very important property of the charge? Unlike charges will attract. Am I correct? So the negative charge electron and the positive charge proton will attract each other. So that is the reason the electrons are revolving around the nucleus. It is not escape from the atom, right? Because there is a Coulomb attraction, right? I repeat again, there is a Coulomb attraction between the negative charge electron and the positive charge proton. So because of this Coulomb attraction, the electron is under the influence of nuclear force. That's why it cannot escape from the atom. It just bounded inside the atom, right? So this is the figure of the atom, right? Now, what is photoelectric effect? When the photons which carries energy is incident on the metallic plate. So before that I want to tell you one thing. I said the photons carries the energy, but how much energy it will carry? Each photon will carry energy which is equal to h nu. H is the Planck's constant, whereas nu is the frequency of the photon, right? So this is the energy of the photon. Each photon carries an h nu amount of the energy. If the electromagnetic radiation contains some n number of photons, then what is the total energy? It is n h nu. Am I correct? One photon carries h nu amount of energy, n number of photon carries n h nu amount of the energy. So each photon carries h nu amount of the energy. So when the energy incident on the metallic plate, what happens? These electrons which is revolving around the nucleus, which is bounded inside the atom, is coming out of the metallic plate. This is what photoelectric effect, right? So, but what is the barrier here? Here the electron is bounded inside the atom. So if you want to make the electron come out of the metallic plate, what we need? We need just energy. The electron need energy to make itself free from the atom, because it is under the influence of the nuclear force. So initially it requires some energy to come out of the atom, isn't it? So that is the first step, right? Before we make the electron come out of the metallic plate, initially the electron should come out of the atom, alright? So it requires some energy to overcome this Coulomb attraction. So when you give sufficient energy to the electron will gain the energy, and then it can overcome this Coulomb attraction, and then it will be free from that. So consider this is the electron. Now it will be free from the atom, alright? So this electron is known as free electron. Why this is called as free electron? Because this electron is free from the atom, right? Isn't it? It is free from the atom. It is not under the influence of the nuclear force, right? So that's why this electron is called as the free electron. To produce the free electron, what the electron requires? It just requires the energy to overcome the Coulomb attraction force. Alright. So the electron just gain the energy from the photon, right? It has h nu amount of energy. It gain energy from the photon, and then it overcome the Coulomb attraction, then make itself free from the atom, which means we can produce free electron using the energy of the photon. But is the photoelectric effect is completed? No, it is not yet completed. Why? The electron is still inside the metallic plate. You can see here. The electron is just free from the atom. It is still inside the metallic plate. For photoelectric effect, the electron should come out of the metallic plate, right? That is what photoelectric effect is. So what we need, again the electron need to move through the metallic plate, right? If you want to make the electron come out of the metallic plate, again we have to give some energy. The electron requires some energy to move through the metallic plate, then only it can come out of the metallic plate, right? So again it requires some energy, and that energy is also comes from the photon, right? So using the remaining energy, right? So the energy of the photon is used in two ways. One is a part of the energy used to produce the free electron, right? And the remaining energy is imparted as the kinetic energy to these electron, to this free electron, right? And using this kinetic energy, now the electron can move through this metallic plate and now it can come out. Okay, now the electron can come out of the metallic plate, and this electron which comes out of the metallic plate is known as photoelectrons. Remember the difference between the free electron and the photoelectron. Free electron is nothing but the electron which is just make itself free from the atom, which is not under the influence of Coulomb attraction. That is known as free electron. But there is no velocity for the free electron, right? It just comes out of the atom, but it is not moving, right? Alright, so that is called free electron. Whereas the photoelectron is the electron which comes out of the metallic plate with certain speed, with certain kinetic energy. That is called photoelectrons, right? So, to produce the photoelectron, what is the main important thing? The first step, we need free electron, right? Isn't it? So first we have to knock out the electron from the atom. That means we have to produce the free electron. Then only we can think about producing photoelectrons. So the very important thing is producing free electrons. But for both the cases, for producing free electron and to produce photoelectrons, for both the cases, we require energy, right? And that energy comes from the photon which carries energy hν, right? So now let's see. So this is what happens inside the metallic plate. This is the reason why there is an emission of electron. For emission of electron, the electron just requires energy, and that energy comes from photon. So the energy of the photon, what is the energy of the photon? It is E, which is hν, isn't it? So the energy of the photon is spent in two ways, right? A part of this energy is used to produce the free electron, am I correct? And the another part of this energy is used to produce the photoelectrons. Alright, and the energy which is required to produce the free electron is known as the work function, which is represented by the symbol phi. So it is nothing but work function. What is work function? Work function is nothing but it is the minimum energy required by the electron to make itself free from the atom. It is different for different material. Why? Because different materials are having the different electronic configuration, right? In few metals, if it is a conductor, like if it is a conductor, then the valence electrons are loosely bounded. So we can give a minimum energy. We can give very less energy to make the atom free from the atom, right? To make the electron free from the atom. If you take insulators, in insulators the electrons are very tightly bounded. So if the electrons are tightly bounded, we need to give more energy to the electron to make itself free from the atom. So the work function is different for different material. So work function is nothing but it is the minimum energy required by the electron to make itself free from the atom. Right? So the energy required to produce the free electron is known as work function, which is represented by the symbol phi. Right? So a part of the energy goes to produce the free electron. Then what is the next thing? Next thing, we have to make the free electron to move. Right? So then only it can come out of the metallic plate. And which means when the electron is in motion, the energy associated with the moving electron is nothing but it is the kinetic energy. So all the remaining part of the energy is imparted as the kinetic energy to the free electron, right? So what is the formula for kinetic energy? It is nothing but half mv square, right? So it is the kinetic energy. Alright, so this is the energy of the photon is spent in two ways. One is to produce the free electron, and another one is produce the photoelectron. But do you think the equation is completed? That means it is 100% correct? No. There is a small mistake in this equation. What is it? Take this half mv square, which means the kinetic energy, right? When the electrons are coming out of the metallic plate, do you think the electrons are freely come out of the metallic plate? Definitely not, right? Why? Because there are so many number of atoms, right? There are so many number of atoms in the metallic plate. So when the electrons are moving through the metallic plate, it undergoes number of collisions. Am I correct? It just collide with all the other neighboring particles. The free electron will collide with all the other neighboring particles. So when there is a collision, what happens? The electron loses its energy, right? It just loses energy, and then only it can come out of the metallic plate. It does not comes up with the maximum energy always, right? Depending upon the number of collision, it loses a part of the energy and then it comes out of the metallic plate. But how much energy it lost, how many number of collision it undergoes, that we cannot find, right? It is different for different electron. One free electron will comes up with any collision, right? Without any collision, one free electron can come. Another free electron may undergo different number of collision. If you take another free electron, it may undergo less number of collisions, which means it just lost a very less amount of energy. So the energy of the electron which comes out of the metallic plate is different. It depends on the collision that we cannot find. So, but for our comfortable, we just assume there is no collision. There is no collision, which means there is no loss of energy, right? If you assume there is no collision in the metallic plate, then what happens? All the energy imparted to the free electron, all the kinetic energy given to the free electron, without any loss, it can comes out of the metallic plate. So when there is no loss, then the electron will comes up with the maximum kinetic energy. Am I correct? If there is a collision, then it will lose energy, then it will comes up with the minimum kinetic energy or less kinetic energy, right? If there is no collision, then it comes up with the maximum kinetic energy. So the remaining, all the remaining energy of the photon is imported as the kinetic energy. So it comes up with the maximum kinetic energy. So this is important, right? So of mv square maximum. Hope you understand the meaning of the maximum, right? It comes up with the maximum energy, right? So let me write the equation clearly. The energy spent, the energy of the photon is used in two ways. One is to produce a free electron and another one is imported as the kinetic energy. Alright, so this is known as the photoelectric equation, which is given by Albert Einstein. So now we understood what is photoelectric effect and we understood why there is an emission of electrons from the metallic plate, why there is a emission of electrons, right? So far we discussed only the theoretical part, right? We know the theoretical part behind the photoelectric effect, but as I already told you, we need evidence, right? Just the theoretical explanation is not enough, isn't it? So in the next video, we will see the experimental part of this photoelectric effect, right? So we will do the experimental investigation on photoelectric effect and what are the factors that can affect the photoelectric effect. Everything we will see in the next video. Stay tuned. Thank you.